Let me just shut that light. It's a little bit too bright on the eyes. There, I think it's better that way. Makes sense. Let me get to the comments. I am so late. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm trying to figure out when was the last time that I actually made a shout out in my comments. And from what I can see, it's been a while. Okay, here it is. And all the memberships that Maryland gave away a month ago, well, they're done now. So I have to change my list. I wasn't able to keep any of them, uh, but it's all right. Nobody has to. Okay, so what? This is there. Shout out to my members. I don't want to delete all of that. Come on now. So hope everyone is having a great. Well, everyone had a great week. From here to here, right there, and that should be it, at least for now. So let me come back to the chat. So Marilyn was first. That random dude was second. And back again at number 4. Hello Fisherman 506. Tracy, Tiffany, Wendy. Wow, a lot of people are here already. Little House in the Big Woods. Melissa. 15 people, and I'm just started. Wow, nice. Sheena, the Queen. Can't stay. Just wanted to see you in a week. Yes. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. There's going to be so many nice people there. On Thursday, I will see Brigitte and Darren and probably Marilyn. And then on Friday, I will be at Me and New Acres. I will see Mike and Angie. I think that Denby, View Ranch, and Plumman's Backyard are going to be there as well. Jason, Kendra, Ron, and Jenny. They're going to be there also. Tracy's going to be there. I'm trying to remember who else. Saying hi. How dare you? How dare me what? Hello, Scott. Are you going to be at the conference? I'm pretty sure you said you were going to be, but it's been a while since last time I spoke to you, so. Yes, we miss you a lot, Lynn. It's been a while. 70 today. Nice. We've had probably around the same thing. It was 15 Celsius here today. I'm in a short sleeve shirt, and the snow is melting here. I tried to find snow to give the animals before I came in, and there was none. There was none. It's that time again where I have to make sure I have plenty of water on hand. Mylan, you didn't have to do that. Keep your money for the conference. Thank you, though. Thank you very much. So I can see that you give 5 away. Let me just close that here. That's popping in my face. So Canadian Family Life, Matt Rogers, Jody Swanson, Little Ridge Farm, and Cottonwood Ranch. They all got a free membership. That's awesome, Marilyn. Thank you so much. Now I will have to get back on creating more content. Next week is going to be awesome, though. I should have plenty of pictures, short videos to add up. It's a conference in Ontario, the second Eastern Ontario Homesteaders Conference. It's gonna be at McDonald's corner. I think it's about an hour south of Ottawa. I was just speaking to Robin from Hullaby Homestead just before the live stream. They can't make it this year. They had to get their dog neutered on Friday, so they don't want to leave the dog alone. So maybe I will, if it comes well in my schedule, I will try to go and see them. I think they're about an hour away from everyone else, so it could be hard. But I will try to go and drive an hour to go see them. Um, I also got an offer from what's his name again? Thomas. He's not too far from the conference. He's actually going to be a few minutes away from us. He just recently joined our little Canadian group there on Facebook. He offered me a chance to go trout fishing because apparently there's a lot of lakes in Ontario that are open um, all year long. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I know, Tracy. How dare me be late? We're going to drown here. Rain. It's the same thing here. I think we're supposed to have nice weather tomorrow and Sunday, and then it's gonna be rain for a whole week. But I'm not gonna be here for the week, so I don't really mind. But then again, I think it's supposed to be pretty much the same thing in Ontario. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. Hopefully, some people will join. And like I do recently, if I reach 30 people, usually I do a giveaway. Um, it's just something that I try to do to keep people motivated to come on my live stream. I don't advertise it because I don't want people to just come for that single purpose. But if it happens, you know, it may be time for a giveaway. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm so excited I forget to be nervous. Yeah, I know if I start thinking about it, like, probably won't sleep much. And when you're really anxious to go somewhere, time passes slower. Monday and Tuesday is gonna be they're gonna be very, very long days. But this weekend is gonna pass fast like crazy because if I was busy last weekend with the family trip, I'm gonna be busy again this weekend because there is a lot of stuff that I have to get done before the conference. I am leaving on Wednesday morning, so it doesn't give me much time. Monday I have practice, mini handball practice with the kids, so it's not gonna give me much time. Beside Tuesday where I'm probably gonna be packing my stuff. Um, I still have to put some of the rabbits in the freezer. I still have to harvest some carrots from my garden because I don't want the weeds to grow and having to try to like find them one by one in the soil. Right now, I can see just the top of the carrot, and I'm hoping that I'm able to harvest them all. I have some elderberry cuttings that are rooting like crazy, so I have to separate them. I have to put them in different pots. I think that Angie still wanted to have some. I think it was Annie that also asked me to have some for her. I have to check what I have though. I promised some to one of my colleagues, and I promised some to a friend of mine that's gonna give me black currants. Um, his property is full of black currants, so I'm gonna be uh, borrowing some from him. And I have some red currants coming, and Marilyn said that she might be able to spare me a few cuttings from the white currants. So I would have all colors uh, here. I would only be missing the pink ones. Um, Hello, Darren. Thank you very much for stopping by. I am doing great. It's a great day today. It's almost springtime. Um, I see Cindy in here. Cindy Squirrel Off Grid. I got your book, your recipe book, and I wanted to do a shout out, but I forgot it upstairs. If I end up having to go to the bathroom at some point, I will try to pick it up and bring it downstairs. I didn't have time to go through it all. My girlfriend did. She said that it was awesome. The recipes in there are very well described. The step it's really good step by step information on the recipes, and she's glad that she finally found some recipes that she can do, and also get the kids involved and do some awesome stuff. So I will try to get that book later on. And thank you again, Cindy. Saying hi to each other. Marianne is getting some new chickens, so she's gonna be a new chicken owner soon. And she's been a homesteader for about what, Marianne? About 10 years, maybe, roughly. I think you said something about close to 10 years. Now you're gonna be a real homesteader with chickens. Drop everything off at the hotel, then head to Angie's. Awesome. I'm not sure exactly what time Darren's gonna wake us up on Friday morning, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do like last year. Leave around 8 a.m. Land at the cottage around 2 p.m. to 2:30, depending how often we stop, and then we'll head over to Mike and Angie's for the awesome, famous lasagna. Hello, I said hello already. Patrick is here also. Are you coming to the conference, Patrick? Oh, thank you. My wonderful girlfriend is listening to me. So I got this cookbook from Cindy. It was a giveaway that she had, where she had the book hidden in her videos. And the recipes in there, they're all, if I'm not mistaken, they're all recipes that she did on her channel. But I saw something about salmon, perfect pumpkin pie, maple walnut pie, crumble top, cream puff, apple pie, some breakfast recipes, pancakes, waffles. I'm gonna have some fun with this book. I'm so happy. Fudge bars, squares, cookies. There's a little bit of everything, and this is a limited copy. I don't think that Cindy has any more copies to sell, but if you do, Cindy, you can leave it in the chat, and it's just awesome. I really love it. I'm really happy. Yeah, I want to put it somewhere where I'm not going to lose it. So okay. Well, pink and white are pretty the same. Maybe. The ones that I saw on Pépinière Ancestrale, they seem to be really like pink. Now I don't know if the white ones are pretty much the same. I have to go now. Have a great. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lynn, for stopping by. May 4th. I am leaving on Wednesday. For some reason, when I took my vacations, I was hoping to have an extra day after, because last year, Darren and Brigitte were hoping to stay at the cottage for an extra day. But we had to go back to work, and it was a long day on Monday, a long drive to go back home. So we had to leave Ontario on Sunday. So I wanted to take an extra day this year. And for some reason, I don't know what happened on the schedule. I took from Wednesday to Monday. And that's all the vacation I had left. And I ended up having an extra holiday in my bank because the government decided to pay us, or to give us, the reconciliation day, with the First Nation. And since I was working that day last time, they're giving us an extra holiday in our bank. So I added that day on Tuesday. So I am leaving on Wednesday. I will go see my cousin. She lives about maybe 30 minutes from Darren. And then on the next morning, I will head over to Darren's. I say morning, but whenever Darren wants to have me there, I know he's working, and Budget is working also. I think so. Uh, yes, I love it. You got it already? Awesome. The colors are fine, and the size is good, and all that. You didn't tell me what color you wanted, but I figured, on your profile picture, you have like a blue sky t-shirt, so I figured can't go wrong with that color, right? And thank you for being here, by the way, Tammy. Gardener for 38 years, homesteader for 7.5 years. See, I wasn't that far off. 7.5, 10 years. Gardener for 38 years. You're still young. We'll try and leave early. Might bypass Montreal. So what's early for you? I'm used to leave home at 7, which is 6 o'clock your time. So whenever you want to leave, I'll be ready. Awesome. Yeah, I figured you were coming, but it's just that you didn't confirm lately that you were coming. So you guys come into the cabin also, right? um, I hope you have a shower, like a separate shower. It's gonna be weird and awkward taking a bath with the chicks. Hello, Huga Homestead. I got it right this time, right, Huga? May the fourth be with you. Yes. Um, saying hi to each other. Angie's here. Hello, Angie and Mike. Probably Mike is in the background somewhere, listening from not too far. You're lucky, Mike. I was watching your video before I came live. You actually have a wife that doesn't want to buy stuff that's too expensive, and she's actually looking for cheaper alternatives. That's awesome. Like, and no, you can have better than that, Mike. You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm lucky also. My girlfriend doesn't like shopping at all, so I save even more than you. So, question for you. I don't know, Cindy. See, good advertising here. Sure. I don't know how far you work from your home, but at some point Wednesday, send me the address of where you want me to go, and I'll make it. The color is perfect. Awesome. Size is good too. I wore it off on. Cool. I'll have to go watch that stream again. Bath we don't use. Okay. And let you drink your chocolate milk. Hello, CR. Thank you for stopping by. Are you going live after, or you went yesterday? So I don't know your schedule yet. You seem to go at random times. I bought some shoes today, and I had a hard time spending $12. We left last Saturday morning. You pack all the stuff in the van. My daughter had an umbrella that she had to decorate for the pageant, and she couldn't close it because everything was just falling off as soon as she was trying to pull it down. So we had to keep the umbrella open in a van with 6 people. Yes, there's space, but it was like, okay, we have to hold the umbrella. We have to be careful whenever we go in and out. Um, oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Um, Halfway to the mini handball tournament, we noticed that my son had rubber boots in his feet. Rubber boots, like, I mean, he's 9. Um, it was just we just laughed because I know he's got about 20 pairs of sneakers at home. Um, Kids, so can't really do much. But we all that talk just to say that we ended up going to Walmart where there was a clearance sale. I think they were $35, 50% off. So roughly about $17, and then the 17 something dollars was scratched off, and it was a 13.99 or 12.99 tag on it. So I scanned it to make sure, because I have my phone. So it scanned at 12.99 or 13.99. I don't remember exactly the cost. When I went to pay it, it was 8.99 plus taxes. So it came to like $10 for a pair of sneakers. And he loves them, so he's wearing them all the time now. So it's a good investment for $10. People saying hi to each other. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he does. He's probably lurking in here somewhere. Um, I should be able to attend tonight if he does. I am not as tired as I was last week. Last week it was a struggle just to be here. Um, I had a cold, just like a small cold, but if you can't catch up on your sleep, it's always worse. Um, I missed the practice on Thursday with the kids because I didn't feel well. So on Friday, as soon as I finished my live stream, I went straight to bed. But if John is in the chat somewhere lurking, if you go live after, let us know. I will give you a shout out and I will share your stream, and I'll go over as soon as I'm done here. Didn't make any extras when I found out the price. I had a slight heart attack. Cheaper printer and see. Those ones cost me. Wow. Um. Well, it makes me appreciate it even more now. $38 for a book, plus shipping in Canada probably cost you like $20. Um, if you need help, I don't mind paying. Like, I know I won the book, but I don't mind paying the shipping or anything if I can help you out. Those Coles can't really wear you. Yeah. It was just like a 3 days where I was really more tired than usual. When it's all stuck here in your sinuses, a little cough, and it just got me really, really tired. So, John, if you're here, email me your mailing address so I can send you your shirt. Yes, John. I don't think I have his email. His mailing address. Yeah, I figured you meant it can wear you off. Sorry. So last weekend it was a family weekend. You saw it on my last video. Um, we left early Saturday morning. My daughter had a mini handball tournament. I showed just a little parts of the game, the way it's played. Um, it's a pretty intense game, especially for kids that age. And we were hoping that we could be lucky for the first time and have an actual schedule that would give us a chance to make it far in a tournament. Um, there are two teams that are really, really strong, Petit Rocher and Beresford, and those teams almost always, make it to the finals of the tournament. Petit Rocher is winning pretty much all the time. Now we looked at the schedule and we were playing against development team from Petit Rocher, which is like the younger team, the ones that should be making the team next year. They do that a lot, which I find kind of cool. They have enough kids, so they make like the best team they can for the competition, and then they make a team with younger players, and they still go to tournaments. They still play. They'll go to the provincials in their own category, and they get stronger for next year when it really matters for them. So we played that team, we beat them, and then we were playing against a team called Miramichi. Um, we didn't really see them play, except we saw them. We saw their results at the last tournament we went, and they finished last in their pool. So we figured, they might be a team that we can take and get the win. What we didn't know is at that age, they're 10 and 11 years old. If you have one guy or one girl, because it's a mix, that's taller, stronger, faster, better than the rest, you can dominate the game and you can make a huge difference. So it turns out that they had a player like that missed the last tournament because of a hockey game, and he was there that weekend. Um, that player, um, the last time he was there, scored 18 goals out of 21 on his team. He's really something else. He's an athlete. He was doing, you know, all the good things. He was strong. He could score from anywhere. That player alone scored 15 goals against us. So, of course, they beat us. I think they lost in the final game, but that player actually got injured against us. He got hurt. So I know that he played, but I think he played through the pain. Um, and then, of course, by losing that one game, we ended up in the quarterfinals against Petit Rocher, which is a stronger team, the strongest team. And it seems that our schedule is always like that. But instead of being crushed by that team this time, we actually gave them a very, very good game. It was pretty tight. I think it finished like 21-16 or something like that. It was a pretty good team, a pretty good game, and we can be proud of the kids. My daughter is only in grade 5 in nets, because by playing a girl in net, you can play 3 guys on the play. And most of the time, I mean, the ball is coming so fast that even if you have a guy in net, or even if you had 2 guys in net, you most of the time you don't have time to stop the ball. Even at that age, kids can throw a ball very, very hard. It goes fast. They're not hard balls; like they're pretty soft, so it doesn't hurt the kids. Um, but it comes fast. So the goalie doesn't really have much chance. And my daughter is also like small and little in the net, and she loves it so much. Like for her, it's just she's got no worries in the world. She's in the nets. I'll start what I can. What I can't, well, they'll go in, and that's it. And if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. She's so cute. And then same day, my son had a spelling competition. He finished first in his school, and the first word he had was in French, but it's the same word, September. You only re instead of er at the end. Um, he made a mistake. He was stressed out, and once you say the letter, you can go back. And he realized as soon as he said the letter that it was a wrong letter, but he couldn't do anything about it. So he didn't make it far in a competition, but I mean, still finished first in his school, so it's pretty awesome. Still very, very proud of him. And then as soon as those events were done, um, we left for Moncton, which was another 2 hours further. We went shopping a little bit. We we took it as a little family vacation. The two oldest kids didn't want to come, which is understandable. I mean, the oldest one is 18, going on 19, and the other one just turned 15. They spend the weekend with their grandparents playing music and, um, playing little games on TV, on YouTube, and whatever. So we kind of decided to enjoy the weekend with the kids. The younger ones don't really have um, many chances to spend time with them alone. I think they really enjoyed. We went shopping on Saturday. It's weird though. A city like Moncton, I don't know the population of that city, or maybe not the city itself, but all like the surroundings. It's over 100,000, if not more. I'm pretty sure it's even close to 200,000 now. 6 p.m. Everything was closed in the mall. Like, why? Here in Hamilton, a city of maybe 20,000 people, everything is open until 9. In a city like this, everything is closed at 6. So we didn't have much time to shop on Saturday night. The next morning, we had to get up early. My daughter loves, dressing out, having makeup, and you know, um, she feels pretty, and I think she's pretty without the makeup, but I don't make the decision. Um, she does what she wants. She likes it. Well, so be it. And oh yes, I forgot to say hello to Idaho Garden Girl. Sorry about that. Um, Hi. So she got up around 7 to do her hair, makeup, and all that for her pageant. She had to be there at 10 a.m. So we dropped her off. We went shopping again. We went in Costco. I bought some soil, the Pro Mix soil that everyone was talking about for a while. I was able to get one like that, one pack, one bag. I don't know what you would call it. We didn't have much more space though. Um, I bought a few bigger pots because I'm gonna need to put some elderberry cuttings in there. They're growing like crazy. And then we went into pageant. Now, I I don't want to say anything bad in case someone would be listening. I just didn't. People take their time. They're volunteers. Can't complain about what they do, and it's fine. It's just that the decorations were not. I guess it was just not what I expected. Seeing what it was for a small village like us when the pageant was here, compared to what the Atlantic pageant would be. Atlantic would be like the whole province of New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and PEI. The four provinces, and it was not half as good as what it was here in a small village. Now, what I don't like is some people try to cheat. Um, there was a price from people in the crowd would vote. It was like a People's Choice Award or something like that. And sorry. And some people went in and took a bunch of tickets to bring to their table. When they noticed that someone had taken too many tickets, they canceled that way of voting and they voted another way. Now there was 13 girls participating in the pageant. There was 14 tables. We had one table, and being 3 hours away from home, you can imagine that the table was not full. They pretty much give an award to whoever was the closest with the family. Although the girl that won kind of deserved it, I have to admit. It's just tiny details like that like I didn't really like. If you want to do something like that, make people vote for two girls. That way, if the 14 people on that table vote for the one girl that they are there to see. Maybe, the 20 people will have a second vote for someone else. It would have been the same thing for us. We could all have voted for my daughter on our table and then vote for someone else. So that way, I think it would mix up the votes a little bit more. But, I didn't get involved, so I'm not really allowed to complain. Um, Also, um, when the pageant was here, I was a sponsor, Rem's Family Farm. It cost me $150. My name was pronounced at least 15, 20 times during that night. Plus, you had a little thingy here coming across with my name on it, Rem's Family Farm, which was awesome. It was good advertisement for me. It was good visibility. Even though I didn't really see a difference, I think people started talking about the channel a little bit, and I will get to that in a few minutes. But the pageant there cost me $125 plus the dress, plus the gas, plus everything, and they did not mention Rem's Family Farm once, not once. So I'm kind of glad in a way that I didn't go and see a bigger sponsor, because you would have sponsored for nothing. Um, I understand that maybe they don't have time to name all the sponsors, but they have a little pamphlet, so like little um, what would you call that, flyers. They could have put the names of the sponsors in there. It would have been at least something. I agree. You get better when you play tougher opponents. You got that totally right. And I've been through games where we were getting crushed when I used to play soccer, and then at some point we got better and better and better, and we won a few tournaments and a few leagues, and that's just the way it is. The better your opponents are, the more you learn. Everything is closed at 5 p.m. in Quebec. That's crazy. What do you guys do? Like, why would it be open on a weeknight when you have a whole day Saturday to go shopping, and you have to stop at 5? Hello, Holabi Homestead. Thank you very much for stopping by. I talked about you at the beginning of my live stream. Yeah. Those black flies. Yeah, when you're close to a river or any water, they're usually bad. Uh, Try to keep them away for another week, and a week and one day, like 8 days. Keep them away for another 8 days. So last week, I think it was on Wednesday, I was on the news, television news, for an interview for 2022 Shed Wars. And I spoke a lot about how it changed into the global gardening and homesteading community. That our goal was to teach people, that you can grow food. You don't have to go to the market to get your food. There are other alternatives. You can forage, you can fish, you can hunt, you can farm, you can garden. There are so many ways to get free food or cheaper food anyway. And I kind of noticed that people around here now, they see me and they see me as a garden guy, which is kind of cool. When you're a kid, you're kind of dreaming of being a hockey player or a singer or pop star singer or rock in a rock band, or you want to be popular and you want people to know you. But it's kind of cool that because I'm on YouTube, and I was on the news and on a radio station, um, that people are starting to recognize me. Um, I went to pick up my son at the dentist, and the two secretaries started asking me questions. What should I do? What do I do? What would you plant there? How would you do that? How would you do this? I thought it was pretty cool, and I I got home Wednesday. My girlfriend sends me this screenshot she took. Um, the mother of someone she knows saw me on the news, and she's gonna be going through some chemo this summer. So she's trying to find things to plant to help her mentally and you know enjoy the garden. And she was asking me questions about ways to do it for cheap, because we all know that those meds are very expensive. And even though a lot of it is covered here in New Brunswick and here in Canada, she has to travel 3 hours away to get her meds. So she's gonna go through a very hard summer. And if you're the praying type, um, pray for her. Um, but I gave her a call last night, started talking. It chatted for about 30 minutes. She wanted to know what were the best things that she could plant in her raised garden beds. She said that she planted some carrots. It didn't work really well. Um, she has a spot where she was able to plant some corn, and it did great in the past. So she wanted to plant corn there. Uh, Sorry, I'm more tired than I thought. Um, she wanted to know where or what she could put in a garden bed so that it wouldn't cost her as much. She was told by our local nursery here that she could put like dead wood in the bottom, and black soil and a little bit of compost. And she was starting to add up all the costs of everything, and she was like, "There's no way that I can afford that. Like, is there any other way?" And I told her about the farm not too far from here. They sell it's cow manure with hay compost that's about 3 to 4 years old. So it is good to go. It is $30 for a big load, tractor bucket load full of it. So all you have to do is go there and get it for $30. Um, you know, she's gonna save so much money, and just with that, she was really, really happy that I was able to help her out, just to find a good connection like this. I gave her the phone number of the guy she has to reach, and then she said she was gonna go and grab some compost. She's gonna go with a trailer. She said her husband and her son were gonna take care of dumping everything in her garden or in her garden beds after. Um, when you can help people like that, it's awesome. Like, really, isn't it the reason why we're doing this? I know, like Mike and Angie, you say that you're doing your videos so that your grandkids can see the life you were building for yourselves and for them, and you want them to see who you were. Um, but also, I'm pretty sure that you're putting it out there because you also want to inspire people to do what you're doing. I know Annie from Back to Basics Homestead keeps saying that she wants to inspire people, she wants to teach, um, and that's why we are in the global gardening and homesteading community, so that we can teach people and we can show the world that there are ways that you can grow your own food that are a lot cheaper than going to the store. And when you have people asking you questions like this, to me, it's like, okay, if I can make a difference to one person, just to one person, well, it was all worth it, because that person's going to be able to grow food this year. And she already knew a lot of stuff. Like, she already had her broccoli started. She already had some tomato plants, some pepper plants. Um, she started some squash, things like that. She was already not a beginner gardener. Let's just put it this way. She was maybe the next step after that. The garden guy you saw on TV. uh, yeah, and that's fun, and that's why like people want to talk to me about gardening. I think like there was the two secretaries at the dentist. There was that woman, the lady there that I just spoke about. Um, there's also there was someone, who was it? One of my colleagues also asked me, "Hey, you mind coming on break with me? I want to go and I have some questions about garden. I want to start gardening. I don't know what to do. What should I plant now? Where can I get some cheap stuff? To start my seedlings and all that kind of stuff." So I was able to help her out also, and I think there was someone else at some point that, yeah, someone on Facebook post something about, hey, if anyone knows anything about gardening, I have a few questions. So I sent her a message and we chatted for a little while. She was wondering what to do, and same thing, what to plant in advance, what she could plant outside. Why is there stuff dying? When she transplant, I had to explain to her that she has to, get the plant accustomed to the outdoor weather and that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool. People are starting to know that Remy is a guy that can grow food, and I'm not doing it because I don't want to be recognized. It's not the main thing. It's just the fact that I can make a difference in someone's life. That's what really touches me the most. Thank you, Tracy. I have 14 people watching and I see 15 thumbs up. So now, that being said, since I'm leaving on Wednesday morning, there are a lot of things that I have to do this weekend. I have to clean up my Jeep. Last tournament I went with the kids, there's a bunch of bags of chips in the back and stuff like that. I still have my snowshoes in the back, which reminds me I have to go get my maple sap buckets, which are probably not good anymore. I might have to throw it all away, but I'll see. I'll see. I can probably boil it. Talking about boiling maple sap, um, I have a video coming up. Um, we always talk about not just showing the good, but showing the bad also. I'll just leave it at that. On my next video about maple syrup, you can learn what to do, and you will also learn what not to do. I have to put some rabbits in the freezer also. I have too many, and I don't have space to put them all. Um, and that's what it's all about. Glad you are famous now and can help people. Well, it's not about being famous. It's just about being like, if people can see me, at least in my area, I know that, hey, that guy can grow food. Let's go ask him some questions. Because everybody starts at the same point. You started zero. Even if you say your parents or your grandparents were gardening, when you were a little baby, you didn't know all the stuff you know now, so you had to learn. We all have to learn. We had to learn to use a fork and a spoon when we were a baby. So for some people to know that you plant the seeds and you don't need to plant the seeds too deep. Some people don't know that. Some people plant the seeds very, very deep, thinking that that's the way it has to be. Some people will water their plants too much. Some people not enough. Some people will plant some stuff inside and then bring it outside without knowing that they have to take their time with the plants. Some people don't necessarily know what to plant inside, what to plant outside. And there's really no one out there making videos about, hey, this is the stuff you should be starting now. This is the stuff you should just plant outside. This is the stuff that you need to do this and do that. Um, this is the kind of stuff that people need to learn about. And hopefully I'll be able to make some videos in the future about that kind of stuff. Hello, Buttercup and Fern Homestead. Thank you for stopping by. Still talking about snow. Yes, there is still a lot of, well, not a lot of snow. In the woods, there's still a lot of snow. But on my property now, I can access my garden, and that's another thing I have to do. I have to get my garden ready. I still have some carrots in there that I have to harvest. I think what I'm gonna do is I have one aisle that I have my T-post planted with the string for my tomato plants. I think I'm gonna leave that one there. Worst comes to worst, there might be some volunteer tomato plants coming out. I'll get the tiller guy to come and till two sides of that aisle, just to kill the weeds, and I'll be putting some rabbit manure in there, and hopefully I'll be able to go get some more compost at the local farm not too far from here. And I also have the little garden down where I had my barn a few years ago. I still have to put some more compost down there because it's not deep enough. It's like solid ground, like solid soil. Um, and then I have maybe like this much compost. So there's only so much I can grow there. So okay. Um, I also have to make space for um, the stuff that I'm gonna be planting inside. Tomorrow I have to plant some more stuff, but I also have to find a place on my property to put my trees that I'm gonna get when I get back home. We'll be getting back home from the conference either on Monday or Tuesday. Um, and then I don't know if it's that week or the following week. I have a bunch of fruit trees that are coming. We'll be getting. Let me check and get the list. And Marilyn, I saw your comment. I know that it's not going to kill the weeds, but it's going to bring the roots on top, and I can remove some of the roots. Some of the weeds can then be removed a little bit easier. Let me check here in my receipts. I don't want to forget anything. I have a lot of stuff coming in from Pépinière Ancestrale. So I have some elderberry cuttings here that I have to plant. I have some ascaps here that I forgot to plant last year, and they made it through the winter and they are still alive. So I will need to plant them. Same thing for a blueberry shrub that's doing well. I have a Mont Royal plum tree, two more ASCAP Camrys, Boreal Beauty Camrys coming in, two Saskatoon trees, five Red Lake currants, four of one type of grapes and two of another type of grapes. I have three Arel Susi. I think the word in English is longing berries or something similar to that. And I have two American hazelnuts coming. Those look a lot like the ones that I have here, that we have here in New Brunswick, the long beak hazelnuts, except they don't have the little hitchy thing there, the little spikes on them, the little thorns on them. What do you use for mulch? I use straw and now the bit. Yeah, I want to be careful with straw because that's one of the things that can happen even if you put hay. There's always some seed. I gave some hay to my rabbits and there was some wheat growing next to my cages. So I know there's some seeds in there and I want to be careful. I don't put any mulch in my garden at the moment, although I am thinking about putting wood chips this year. And like I said, tilling is not going to kill the weeds. It will kill some of it, not all of it. But really, the best thing to do is to till the garden in the fall. That way, the roots are coming up and they're freezing, and that can kill some of them. Now, I use dead leaves. Yeah, I've seen your video about the dead leaves. That is a good one, also. Um, but tilling will bring the roots on top, and then at least the bigger ones, I can, you know, pick them up and throw them out. Um, I was doing a reenactment and I was making a stew on the wood fire. The brave five kids watched me make it. One kid said, "That's not a stew. Stew comes in a can." Felt so sad for that kid. Wow. Um, I don't even know how to respond to that. Some people don't teach their kids where food comes from, and it is sad. It is really sad. By the way, I have go at top of hour. Lingonberry, yeah, that's the name. Um, yep, that's the name. So I guess they're in the cranberry family. I also planted some goji berries from the seeds I got from the Incredible Seeds. Now I don't know if um, if it's gonna do any good or not, but they're about that big now, so I'll wait and see. Um, it's the plum tree that I can't wait to have because I got three last year. One of them is dead. I took it out today, actually. The two other ones have those little black fungus on them. So as soon as I see the black fungus, I cut the branch off right away. I don't want it to spread, but there isn't much left on the trees now. I know those fungus can spread and kill the trees in no time. So I'm not taking any chances. I might just go and take them out right away, not taking any chances. It is sad not knowing it can be made fresh. Yes. I'm glad that my parents didn't buy those cans. Of course, we had some canned soup every now and then, but my mom would make the best soup, like chicken broth and vegetable soup and stuff like that. And now I'm glad that I can show the kids where the food comes from. The kids, they were very young, 5, 6 years old, and I was showing them, this is a chicken. I'm gonna do this. They didn't have to see the killing if they didn't want to, but I was explaining to them what I was gonna do and how I was hoping that the way that I chose was the best way not to hurt the animals and to respect the animals at the same time. And it's gonna be food on the table. And the kids were never disgusted by it. They never said anything about not eating meat again. They were raised on wild meat most of the time, so for most of their life, I should say. So they don't really mind, having turkey or having chicken from our own farm. Um, Same for rabbit. The first time I cooked rabbit, I did it wrong. It was stiff a little bit. It was chewy, a lot chewy. But the second time I did it, I cooked it very, very slow, and I finished it off on a barbecue, and the kids couldn't see the difference between that and chicken. So I kind of like it now. Yeah, a lot of people have used leaves. Multi generational. Same family, smaller fruits. Awesome. So when I get back from the conference, I will probably have some um, white currants also, and we'll go get some black currants on my buddy's property. I went there last year. He's the one that helped me with my chicken, and I also helped him with his chickens. And he showed me the black currants he has, and he's got like 100 bushes. So he told me just come and grab one, remove the weeds, and take care, CR. Thank you for stopping by. Um, a deer. It always depends, because like we were on Graminan Island. Uh, the deer there is a little bit smaller, so a young doe would give us maybe 60 pound of meat. Um, but those are very very small deer, in general in New Brunswick and Quebec. Um, in Tracy, if you're still there, you can probably uh, confirm if it's the same in the States or not. But like the little spike that we had last fall, it was a 1 year and a half old deer, and it gave us 104 pound of meat. Plus, I didn't count like the heart, the liver, and all that stuff. I gave that to Lindsay and Jack. So just the meat itself was 104 pound. I've seen deers like the really big monster ones can probably give you close to 200 pound of meat. So anywhere in between, on average, maybe 120, 150, somewhere along that line for a deer. A moose, if you have a calf, like a very, very young one would give you at least 200 pound of meat. And that's a very, very small one. Usually, on average, if you go moose hunting, especially in Quebec where you can only get the bull, you'll get at least 300 pound of meat. And that's a small one. Small bull will give you 300 pound of meat. Last year, we got um, a small cow, and it was still over 400 pound of meat. My camera's doing weird. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if it's. I don't know. Um, yeah, like a moose, average 400 or 500 pound of meat easily, and that's not counting like the organs. Like it's not counting the heart, the liver, and all that kind of stuff. So, someone that goes hunting, like people say, it's expensive. Everything is expensive. My boss is going to Mexico once a year, or maybe not once a year, but they go to Mexico, they go to Cuba. How much do you think that costs? If you bring the kids, like they have kids, a couple, 3 kids, it's at least $6,000 to go down there. You'll have a week off, vacation next to the beach. If that's your thing, that's fine. But my thing is being in the woods. So for me, if I put $100 worth of gas, because don't forget, most of the time you go hunting, you don't go alone. For moose hunting, there was 3 of us last year. We might be more in this year. Jack is now a permanent member of our hunting group. So, there's 4 of us hunting together. If we spend $100 of gas for the generator and the vehicles, it means that we had a very rough hunting week because we didn't see anything or we didn't kill anything at all. You can get something on the first day and it's going to cost you maybe $20 gas. And then the food that you bring, you're going to eat at home. Last year, we all brought food from home. Funny enough, each and every one of us brought some fiddleheads. I had some quails. I had some striped bass. Serge brought some chicken breast. Jack brought deer meat that he had from the previous year, and yeah, so we pretty much ate kind of for free. I mean, we all had vegetables from our pantry or freezer. We had meat from our farm. Um, so after that, it was only the beer and the license. The gun, the rifle, it was to me was something that was given by my grandfather down to my father, down like eventually he's gonna come to me. So I borrowed the rifle from my dad. Um, it's $30 for a box of bullets. Um, you know, $60 for beer. $100 for gas, and then the butcher was about, I don't know, maybe $100 each, $125 each. So I don't know if someone did the math. I did not, but maybe $200, less than $300 for sure. So I had a week off, good times in the woods. I relaxed, I changed my mind. It was quality time with good friends. Was hunting with Serge and Jack. Was actually the first time we met Jack. So, bottle $11 for a bottle of Molson. Wow, I would have left it there. um, you buy a beer on the Quebec side. It's roughly $1 a beer. Uh, I say roughly because I think it's like $75 for 60. So for $60 you get like 40 beers easily. When you're hunting, you don't drink, or at least you don't drink as much. No, you're not allowed to drink when you hunt. But like you go back to the trailer to eat your lunch. You can have a beer with your lunch. Um, then you leave. You don't drink again until you get back home. So I didn't even drink all the beers I had. So I had the same thing someone got from going down on vacation south, except that instead of costing me $6,000, it was about $400, and I came back with 125 pounds of meat. Sorry. So is hunting really that expensive? Been listening. So, uh, in the States, in your area, Tracy, on average, how much meat does a deer give you? Because I know here, I got a 7 points one year. It was 127 pound of meat. I got spike orange twice, and it was roughly 100 pound of meat. So I also went to Graminan Island where we got two fawns and a doe, and we ended up with 60 pound of meat on the three of them. Because down there the deers are really, 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 really small. Hello, Wild Edibles. It's great to have you here. I know uh, Anticosti Island, the deer are smaller there. And I'm pretty sure the deer are smaller in the States. A large bodied whitetail might get you 100 debone. Debone? I don't know how much we would get debone because we always get them with the bones. Um, I don't know. I have no idea how much it would be. Um, and it also depends on the way that you're asking your question, Marilyn. If it was in a survival situation, the most that we got last year, where I got about 125 pound of meat, it would have been more than the four. I think it was around 460, because Sales didn't want to have anything about the heart, and didn't want to have the liver, so we left that. We left the liver. We don't eat the liver. I kept the heart, and we had the filet mignon, tenderloin taken out before we brought it to the butcher. So that wasn't included in the price in the 125. Um, but in a survival situation, there would be a lot less waste. I think there was about three huge boxes of maybe 30 to 40 pounds with all the bones and tiny bits and pieces of meat on them, that the butcher just gave away for Sarah's dog. Um, we'll find this year. Yeah, that's if you can get a deer. If you don't, you didn't get a deer last year, um, which are around $1 cut and wrapped. Yes, um, it's a little bit more expensive for deer. I think it was like $1.20 or $1.30 for moose. For deer, I don't remember, but I think it was like $80 for 104 pounds, or $82 or something like that. Always butcher. I want to learn how to butcher my stuff. Um, the only thing is I don't have space because I need a cold room to do that, and that might be a plan in the future once the kids are old enough and move on their own. But until then, it's not gonna happen. I really don't have space for that. The big calf we got back, there wasn't much. Wow, nice. 120 pounds for a half of a calf cow cut and wrapped. See, that's still a lot. Um, there's a possibility that I might be getting a pig this year. I am getting late on the deadline for that, but my friend's girlfriend sent me a message saying that she wanted to have some information on pigs, and I told her that you can't really have just the one pig alone. And then she asked me if I wanted to have one with them. She said, like, we can go 50-50, have the pigs here. You drop in your feed whenever you want. And, if we're going away and we can't feed them, we'll call you. And um, the only thing is they are not ready to put the pigs in yet. And her boyfriend is working out. He's out of town working. So it depends once you get back home if he's rested enough to build something for the pigs. I have some hog panels here that maybe we could use that, but it's I'm not saying it's a risk because I really trust those people, and even if at some point they just wanted to keep the stuff, I wouldn't be mad at them. But 4 panels with a bunch of T-posts, maybe I could be using them some other way. So I don't know if I want to bring all my stuff there. Um, we'll see, I guess. But we can show it. Yeah. Um, when they're young, they're very, very tender. I will be able to get a doe with my doe permit. One of either sex with muzzle loader, maybe one with bow if I hunt archery, a buck with my regular season tag. Nice. That's awesome. I know I've seen some videos about the state of New York, but also some other states where you can, if someone does all the huntings, you can end up with like 20 deers, which is insane. Um, we're lucky if we get one every 20 years here, and you guys can get 20 in a year. I used to bring home to a season when I. That's awesome. So you're probably getting 200 pound of meat easily, right there. And honestly, personally, deer is the best meat. For me, it is. It would be good. I I'm gonna talk to her again there, but it's the same one that's giving me the black currants, and I will be giving them some elderberry cuttings, and she's also the one that knew about the mushrooms last year. I went with them for a few drives, and she showed me a lot. Her boyfriend is getting there also. He knows a lot of stuff too, on more other things than the mushrooms though. But it's pretty cool. Like they're living the same life. When you start doing that life, you realize that there's a lot of people around you that do that and just didn't know about it. All right, Magdalene, take care. Rest well, and I will probably talk to you tomorrow. You have to see how it goes. Yeah. It's ran by the insurance companies and they hate deer. Okay, well, then you probably get a chance to hunt a lot. Um, I don't know if you guys saw my little short video from, was it yesterday or the day before? There were four moose together. Um, there was a cow and three young ones, but I'm pretty sure one of the young ones was a calf from last year and the other two from this year. Favorite is moose, but deer is good too. Um, I would probably think differently if I had deer more often. Um, it's just that because deer are so rare around my area, we have to travel about 3 hours away to be allowed to hunt deer. And it's easy to understand why when we go. I mean, we're all almost going hunting blind. We don't have a specific spot. We don't feed them. We don't know the terrain, the land where we're hunting. We just go there. We walk in the woods. If we see one, we see one. If not, we don't, and that's it. But if there was as many deer as the amount of moose we have around here, I'm pretty sure I would think that moose is one of the best too. Um, but it's just, yeah, because I don't get it as much, I guess. I usually you don't talk about wild food or people look at you weird, especially yeah. Um, it, around here, I don't know. I used to see us homesteaders the same way that those people see us now. Um, the hippies that go get their own food in the woods, or they're weird because they do things differently. But um, once you get in that lifestyle and you realize that the food is so much better, um, you know, you just can't stop doing it. We have more deer here than most, so yeah, I get it. We want what we don't get. Yeah, good way, old ways gardening and prepping. Peter, thank you for being here. You should come hunt here one year. We have quite a few. The thing is, I think since I'm a non-resident, it would cost me a lot more, and also I think I might need a guide for hunting. But then again, the guiding license is kind of easy to get, so I don't know if it's something that Mike would like to do. Um, I think you can well, here anyway. I was able to challenge the exam. I graduated in 2001, and it was a year before. So it's been 23 years. I challenged the guiding exam, and I passed. And from then, it was $10 a year to be a guide. So it's really not that much. And I think I'm allowed to guide everywhere in Canada except in Quebec. Quebec always have their own rules about everything. So, in theory, I'd be able to go guide, let's say, for example, for Darren, I'd be able to go on your property with my guiding license, but I'm not allowed to hunt. I'd be able to bring Darren with me, and he would be hunting and I would be guiding. That's kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. I think that's the rule anyway in Ontario. We aren't allowed to bait, but I routinely have here in my yard. You're not allowed to bait, but are you allowed to plant a tree? You know, there's a rule that you can't bait, but if you're allowed to plant an apple tree, just go out there in the wild, plant two apple trees next to each other, and see what happens. It's not your fault that you drop an apple there at some point and two apple trees grew. And deers will definitely go after the apples. When I met my new neighbor Alex, he said, "Oh yeah, you are the off-grid guy." "Oh yeah, you're the tractor guy." Let them look weird at me and stay out of my business. Yeah, exactly. Well, to a certain degree. Um, you know, I got some friends that like to make fun of me for it, but you know, they always end up saying, we make fun of you, but it's awesome that you do that kind of stuff. You know, my cousin is not the kind of guy that will go in the garden, but he told me if things ever go sideways, I can't grow food, but I can protect you so that you can feed me. You know, so I kind of funny sometimes. Trees, scent, sex, use is okay. Okay, not the tractor. Tracy is the not tractor guy. You know, I'm just teasing you, tractor guy. It is good information to know. Um, a lot, like, there's really a lot of wild animals that love apples. If I go grouse hunting, there's a apple tree somewhere. I get out of my vehicle and I walk under it, and most of the time, there are grouse hiding in the apple tree. Last year, not last October, but the year before, like a year and a half ago, I was hunting with my son Anthony, and there was an apple tree in the middle of a field. It's kind of, it's in a wild spot, kind of, so everybody can just go and grab the apples. So I'm like, Anthony, let's go and grab some apples. So, like, before we go, let's just take a look to make sure there's no grouse in there. So we go in closely and slowly, and there was nothing. So I put my hand on the first apple, and I look down, and I swear I had my foot. The tree was like splitting up like this, so I had my foot on that split. Under my foot, on the other side of that trunk, there was a grouse right there. So I didn't move. I looked back. I said, Anthony, go get my gun. It's like, what? Go get my gun. There's a grouse right there. You had time to go to the Jeep, which was maybe, I don't know, 50 feet away. Come back. Took a bullet, put it in my gun, and I shot it. It never moved. Never moved. And of course, when I shot, there were two more in the top of the tree that I was never able to see, and they left. But it just shows, like, they are so comfortable around the apple trees. It never moved. I could have literally grabbed her in my hands. That's how close it was. It's crazy. Yes, everyone has talent to bring to the table. Some people know about tractors. Some people know about others. Oh, okay, I'm kidding. I'm done. I'm done teasing you for tonight, Tracy. Yes, barter for sure. Protect me, and I'll feed you. Yes, but then again, everything is back here. You already all know what I have. Um, I will. I will eventually have two pantries. So if I don't show everything all at once, maybe people will not necessarily have everything in mind. Yeah, when you go rabbit hunting, if you go when there's snow, the grouse are all over in top of the trees, and the leaves are falling, so you see them everywhere. Yes, go and get it. Go and get it. He's like, why? Never mind why. Just go and get it before I grab your hat and throw it to the grouse. My favorite hunting spot is a trail that runs behind an abandoned apple orchard. Yep, orchard. There's a lot of apples. The deers are going to be all over it. That's for sure. And the black bears also will go after the apples. But the difference is, here in New Brunswick, we're allowed to bait. So what someone once told me to do is, if you want to put apples to bait for the deer, don't put them all in the same bunch. Spread them out, because black bear will come by. He's lazier. So since the black bear is very lazy, he will simply sit down and eat the apples around him. But if you spread them out, the black bear will come, maybe eat one or two, and be on his way because he can't sit and eat. The deer will come, and the deer will have his face down, smell an apple, eat the apple, and then he'll keep his face down, his head down, trying to smell if there was a predator around, or if there's any more apples around. So if you're in a blind, you see the deer with the head down, most of the time it gives you a better shot. Little tip. Um, but if there are apple trees, apples usually fall on the ground. They most of the time fall all at the same spot, or there's a bunch of apples on the same branches. So black bears tend to go next to those apples also. And every time we go grouse hunting, we go next to an apple tree somewhere, and there is always bear poop somewhere. Always, always, always. This one time, I went hunting with the kids. I told them, you have to stay in the vehicle because there could be bears coming out, and I want to be able to know where you are, so you have to stay in the vehicle. Sorry. They were old enough. They stayed in the car. Um, I had to get out like under a branch, and it was full of branches like this, and I had to like bend under and walk a few steps, and then I would be like, it was almost like a tree house. I was under the tree, and the branches were all going like this. So once you were under the tree, you could walk around the trunk and not hit any branches, but you had to get low to get out and get back in. So I go in, I look, no grouse. I get out. The Jeep was probably, I I'd say about 50 feet from me. Right in the middle of the road, right in the middle between me and the vehicle were two black bears. So like the kids were in the window, all scared, like I'm like, well, staying there. And like I got my gun ready, and of course you don't want to scare them away for nothing. You don't want to injure them. You don't want to shoot them if you're not hunting for them. Plus, I didn't have gun for bears, but um, you rather be ready than not. And I didn't really feel like shooting towards the Jeep with the kids in the Jeep. But they just passed by and left. Uh, we used to feed the turkeys corn after hunting season to keep the turkeys in our favorite spot behind our house in Port Leyden. Nice. Yes, and the chokecherry trees are bear's favorite too. We have a lot of chokecherries around here, and we do see bears around, but only because there's a lot of apple trees also. On Sarah's property, last year there were tracks of black bears that went right next to my chicken coop, and I'm lucky it didn't bother trying to get in because bear could have gone in easily if you really, really wanted to. It just passed by. I guess you probably smelled a little bit what was there, and he just left. Choke cherries are so delicious with sweetener. I guess they make delicious wine. My mom makes the best choke cherry jelly. I heard that wine is pretty good. I think in Ontario, some people feed them all year, but you're not allowed to pay them, so food stops when the season is in. See, this is kind of weird because if you're allowed to feed them all year and you suddenly stop, you might be killing them all because they get used to go there for food, and suddenly they're becoming dependent on the food source, and the food source disappears. So this is just worse than feeding them during the hunting season. And I don't understand because in theory, you could still get face to face with that animal you're hunting. So what does it change if you're putting bait for them to come to you instead of you going to them? Yes, it makes it a little bit easier, or not even, it's not even really easier. If they don't want to come out, they won't come out. So I don't understand. I guess I'll have to try the jelly. There's a lot of choke cherries nearby. This is something I really want to go and get this year. Um, that's one of the things I said on my interview on television is um, I want to do different things this year. Instead of going trout fishing in the spring, I want to go black bear hunting, which means as soon as I get back from the conference, I have to get my bear tag and start baiting somewhere and hopefully get a black bear. I will also be getting choke cherries, obviously. Um, I'll see what else. I have some more knowledge on mushrooms now, so I want to go and harvest more. Plus, I found an amazing spot last year while moose hunting. I was with Jack walking, and we counted at least 50 different lobster mushrooms. We were just too late in the season, but this year I plan to go ahead and get them while they're still good. I lost my choke cherry picking spot. I need to plant a few choke cherry trees, but I rarely find them here. Too bad I can't send you the seeds. Um, I wonder if they would cross the border. Probably not. Um, yeah, I don't know if probably just be a matter of getting a few berries and getting the seeds from them. Apples are easier to eat if you have a lot of them. Yeah, and it's the same thing for black bears. With chronic wasting disease, New York made it illegal to feed deer at all. So we put up a sign that says this feed is for turkey only. Any deer caught eating it will be. That's a good one. Um, but what if you just have hay at home and you just want to get rid of it? Or, like I said, if you want to plant an apple tree, there's always a way to go around the law. It's not illegal to plant a tree. So if you plant an apple tree, you'll keep the deer around. Yeah, a lot of people feed them in New Brunswick also. Salt block and whole corn for deers. Yep, that's what we do here also in New Brunswick, but there's also a lot of apples, and people use carrots also. Carrots, squash, pumpkins, anything like that is usually good for deer. Would love to have some choke cherry seeds. I wonder if it can cross the border. If it could, I don't know if it's something you have in the states. Maybe Etsy, you'd be able to find some. If not, I can try to get you some, but I just don't know if it would cross the border. On Sarah's property, there's at least, I don't know, 50, 60 choke cherry trees. Even on my dad's property, we used to go and eat them raw when we were younger, just like eat a few, and it was like, but we love doing it. So I am hoping to be able to go bass fishing again this year. Um, if my buddy can bring us again on a little boat trip. I know Jack and Lindsay from Ren's Homestead would love to come also. It would give us a chance to catch maybe more. Plus, it would help them put fish in the freezer. I kind of feel bad for Jack. He invited us over to go deer hunting on his property. We ended up getting a small buck on the second day, and he ended up not seeing a single one after that. I don't feel as bad because he was able to come moose hunt with us, and he got around 100 pounds of meat. But you still want the guy to get his deer. It's striped bass. They get. I think in the States you get the people are allowed to fish them if they're over a certain size. We're enough here in Canada. We can only fish them under that size. Because I think John from Will It Grow was saying that they're only allowed to keep them if they're over 28 inches or something like that. And here we can only keep the ones that are between 20 and 26 inches, which is kind of weird because, if you're talking about the fish population survival, it should be the same rules because it's the same fish and it's the same Atlantic Ocean. You know what I mean? Like they're coming from the same spot. If we catch them all here, chances are the population is going to go down in the States. I'm burping a lot today. I don't know why. One more thing I did today, which is pretty cool. I was looking for grafting tape, and I don't know if that's the best thing to use, but I was looking for that because I have a few of my cherry trees. Well, I have 2 cherry trees, and both of them, um, they kind of split like that in the middle, but there's still growth on both sides. They're still alive on both sides. It's not like it didn't crack open. It's just like split a little bit. So I wanted to tie them up together and heal them, help them to heal. I couldn't find any of that tape, but I found some Velcro like this. It seemed to work. I had to put some a little tighter maybe, but I'll go like every month or so just to remove it and see if it started healing, and put it back, just so that if the tree is growing, that it doesn't grow through this. It's pretty cool. It was only like $5. I can also use it for plants. I like to tie up plants and stuff like that. My camera's doing weird. I don't know why. It just did it again. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm not restarting my computer at all. Maybe if I did that, it'd be all right. They have to be 15 inches or larger here for striped bass. Okay, 15 inches is not that big. Yeah, here they have to be between 50 and 65 centimeters, which is kind of like 19 3/4 inches by 26 and a half, or something similar. Or is it 19.5 to 26 3/4? Or so I always say between 20 and 26 inches. That way I'm safe. If I'm just a tiny little bit smaller than that, I know I usually fall. If I'm less than a centimeter smaller, and same thing if it's bigger. Like I can't see they would really do anything if you had like an extra 1/4 inch. Like it have to be really a to give you trouble. So, anyone has planned for the weekend? Tracy, you must be starting to get busy. Also, not only are you trying to get ready for the conference, because you're also coming for a few days. You probably have your brother going over to feed the animals, I'm guessing. But by the way, Tracy at T-Hen War 41 has finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I think he said he was at 104 last time we talked about it. And he is missing about, is it 273 hours as of this morning? So if you have time after my live stream, if you have, if you feel nice and want to give some time, go watch some of Tracy's video. If you're not already subscribed, you can also subscribe. He's got an awesome channel. He's doing some off-grid stuff out there. It's pretty cool. He's doing pigs. He plans on starting rabbits soon. He's got chickens. He's doing, well, he did maple syrup last year. He's doing Back to Eden Garden. So you can learn a lot from him because he's doing everything off the grid, off the electric grid. Just got a text, babysitting my grandkids tomorrow evening. Okay, well, that's fun. It gives you tomorrow morning to do a live stream. If I think Marcy's going live stream tomorrow, right? Marcy from Learning Curve Acres. Is it 9 a.m. Eastern Time? She's supposed to talk about the conference. Hello, Michael. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're doing great. Did the Rays win this tonight? Sorry. Yeah. The Rays are doing crazy. So the Blue Jays are winning again. That's good. The Bruins and the Panthers at hockey. If you're watching hockey, Michael, the Panthers are down 3-2 in the series, and the game is tied 3-3 in the beginning of the third period. That's probably a very good game. Oh, nice games tonight. I didn't check though. I forgot to check the results. If the Rays are ahead 3-2 at the end of ninth inning. They're playing the White Sox. The White Sox are really struggling this year. Who knows though? Who knows? 198 hours short. It did an afternoon update. Awesome. So that's less than 200 hours away. So if you do another small live stream after Marcy tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon before you get the kids, another hour could give you another, 20, 30 hours lower than the 198. Let's hope you get that number down before the conference. It'd be nice if we could celebrate with you in person. Did you check the greenhouse? Good question. I'm great. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Michael. I can't wait until you start doing live streams. The middle is all bent and broken. I do not have the clear cover, but I am making plans for after the barn to build a porch greenhouse. Awesome. Lots of toad cherry here in the wild. That's nice. It is nice. Very nice. I was about to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. Well, it looks like I have nothing more to say. So yeah, I think it's about 2 years ago, I ended up on Tracy's live stream. It was the first time ever that I ever saw one of TN 141 videos, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first video I saw was a little short video about your fireplace, Tracy, if I'm not mistaken. And I told you that you could make like an hour-long video of the fireplace and the fire burning and just put like some relaxing music, and it would be awesome. And I remember you telling that to your wife while you were on the live stream. And it's funny because, the first live stream you were alone on the panel, and I was the only one in the chat, and we chatted for a while, and we started following each other, and we became friends. And then finally, 2 years later, we're gonna see each other, which is pretty cool. Mine is okay. The bar's bent, but I'm just going rebuild with 2x4. Mine is still good and standing. I don't understand. Well, it's on the other side of the house. It's not as windy. But I thought the snow was going to push everything inside. It did not. So you're welcome. And I'm guessing the game is probably done by now. It was 2 outs at the end of the ninth inning. Still not done. 2 outs, one runner on first, one runner on second. The White Sox at bat. Next out, the game is over. Or if they score, it continues. Or They score more than one goal at one point, the game is over. The Bruins are on in a power play right now. It's still 3-3 against the Florida Panthers. I remember it was fun. Yeah, it seems like it was so long ago. I still, well, I'm not doing anything more than anyone else. I'm learning from Tracy. Really, you're just coming here and it's basically talking to yourself. Um, well, not really talking to yourself. You're talking to an audience that you can't see. So when people chat a lot, it really, really, really helps. It gives you like free stuff to talk about. Some people can just come on live streams and just simply go through the chat all day. And as long as they have some people chatting, they'll keep on talking. Snow didn't cave it in. Awesome. Whether I make it or not, we're going to celebrate. Well, you have your 1,000 subscribers, and we still have a week. Um, you know, 7 days, 200 watch hours. So it's roughly about 30 hours a day. So if Maryland keeps playing your video and I keep playing your video and one or two more people keep playing your video, we could do it. And if you do a live stream every day until the conference, you will definitely be monetized by, well, maybe not monetized because you still need YouTube's approval, but you should be ready to apply for it. Yeah, well, I didn't have too much damage. The only damage I have on my whole property right now with my trees, bushes, and garden is that I have a lot of mice, and they dug holes everywhere on my property. So I wish I could have a cat. My girlfriend doesn't want to have a cat, so I have to put traps everywhere. Yeah, it's a different. I find like it's a free video where you don't really need to have something planned. As long as you have one idea in your mind, like I come live, if I do at least 15 minutes, there's that. I've been on for about 2 hours now. I'm gonna go soon, but as long as you guys keep chatting, I don't really have any reasons to go. Sorry. Yes, let's hope that you make it, Tracy. And as soon as I'm done, I'll be playing some of your videos in the background on my computer back there. It gets tough when there is no one talking in chat. After a while, I run out of things to say. Yes, but you go live on the week and I'm at work, but tomorrow I should be home. So if you go in the morning or in the afternoon, I should be able to make it. I have to put a few rabbits in the freezer. I still have a lot of work to do, but we didn't talk about him not using the name of it. Yeah. In a week, Tracy, you will be there. You will be there. So, John, since I know you're lurking because you always are you going live tonight? I can't tag him, so maybe he's not there. Maybe he's not there. I was telling Henny how much lucky I am to have you guys supporting me. She said she is going to make me ugly cry when I make it. Awesome. And I hope that I'm there to see it. And I remember someone talking about cream pie, and she chickened out. So maybe, just maybe, we'll find a cream pie somewhere, and someone might get a pie in the face. Maybe. Just throwing that out there. All my live streams are always talkative, and to make it easy. Yeah, well, even if people are not talking, it's better when people are chatting, but you can come up here on a panel and have one or two vague ideas about what you want to talk about and just go and start talking. And I think it's time to go to bed. But you can just um, start talking, and you'll see that time flies by. And yeah, I know if I ever talk to him, I'll try to get him talk to you. I need to ask if she can bring dessert. Yeah. So, yeah, bring a cream pie, Annie. Tell her to bring a cream coconut pie. Well, tell her to bring two because I want to eat one. Yes, there's always something to talk about. There's always something going on, especially on the homestead. I mean, um, for me, it's a little bit harder because I work full time, but work is busy right now, which is kind of cool because time goes by faster. Um, I get home twice a week where I have to, well, I don't have to, I accepted uh, responsibility. Plus, my daughter is playing on the team, so I'm coaching, assistant coach, I should say, of the handball team, and it's all good because my daughter's playing, and I want to be there to support her and do the best I can. But there's 2 nights a week where I don't really have time to do much. Um, the rest of the time it's go, 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 go all the time. It's either I have something to plan, something to fix, something to take care of. I want to make at least two videos before I leave for the conference because I know there's probably a very good chance I will not be live next Friday, unless that maybe I can just make a small appearance um, from Angie's place. And since it's her property, I need her authorization to go live on her property. No, well, I don't think she would mind. But maybe sometimes people want to have fun and not necessarily be on a camera all the time. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll pop in just to say hi and just show that we're having fun, and whatever happens at the cabin and at the conference or at Angie's place, it stays there. But there's nothing stopping us from maybe showing a few things. It feels good seeing you, how you light up when you're talking about being a dad. There, my pride. I mean, that's I keep saying that I didn't accomplish anything big in life. Like I didn't really do the career I wanted to make. I didn't, I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not any of that stuff. Um, I have small office job, but when I look at my kids, I know that I made something right. The five of them, I mean, they're polite. They're well behaved. They do well in life in general. They're smart. They're awesome. Um, they seem to enjoy life. So hopefully it stays that way. And I love them more than anything in the world. Thanks. Today I went with my daughter to the cemetery to see my brother. His birthday was on May 3rd, and on May 3rd I will be gone to Quebec. He passed away on May 7th, which is on Sunday. So I usually take a minute to remember him. Well, I think about him every day, but I usually take like a deep minute um, just to remember him, like a moment of silence for him. I'll be at the conference. Well, it's going to be on Sunday morning, so there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that day. So, every year since he passed away, I've been drinking a beer with him, and that's just my thing. And I did that tonight. Um, I took a picture again of a stone, and I don't know if I can. I can. You're probably not going to be able to see very well. Maybe if I put it this way. You can see my reflection in there, and I kind of did it on purpose to have my reflection there because I don't know, it's showing that I really look up to him, you know. But talking about picture, we have some very good experts online right now. So let's see if you guys can help me with the little issue that I have right now. Let me download this. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, so if I open this up here, this downloads. I want to show you a picture, and I want you to know. I want you to tell me if you know what you think this is. So, okay, so I know this here. This is dog poop. It was in the snow where the dog goes, but these things here. Does anyone know if this is anything important? If there's anything in there growing that's worth preserving? This was forgotten in the snow. I forgot to plant it, whatever was in there, and I don't remember what it is. So it's not blueberries because I didn't have any blueberries. I just can't seem to remember what it was. Hello, Life in the Valley. If I remember correctly, your name is Thomas, right? I gave you a small shout out at the beginning of my stream, uh, saying that we will try to go for at least for an hour or two to go fishing for trout. It'd be nice if we could go if we could go get a nice lunch. Well, the red sticks and the gray ones, because I have this year, and I also have this year. So I don't know if it's the same thing or different things. I have no idea what's growing in there. It might be something that I'm just going to throw away. It might be alder or anything like that. Um, and yes, leaves would help. um, I don't know. I'm just curious to see if anyone had any idea. well, well, it's been a while, Tracy. It's been there for most of the winter, so it started decomposing. Um, yes, it is, and for sure, I hope so too. Yeah, and you're coming to the conference too, right? So there's going to be a lot of us there. Looks like little trees. Yeah, looks like a tree or a bush, not dogwood or willow. Honestly, I have no idea. I think it might have been something that the wind pushed the seeds and it landed in there and it's growing. So I don't know. I thought it could have been. It can't be well, it's definitely not raspberries. And no, it's not goji berries either. It's not. I don't remember what I planted in those buckets last year. Because honestly, I thought the only thing I had in there were tomatoes. Yeah, I'll give it time. I'll wait. It's in front of the house right now, so it's getting enough sun and it's getting what it needs. I will not give it too much attention, but if it grows into something nice, I'll transplant it, and if not, I'll throw it away. Yes, I propagated elderberry cuts, but they're still indoors. They're still in the house because when I got them, it was still in the middle of the winter, so I planted them inside. So it can't be that. Um, it looks like blueberry bushes, but I didn't I didn't have any last year. I didn't plant any of those. Unless the only thing, well, I had a blueberry bush in another pot nearby. Maybe one of the fruits fell in there and reproduced and it started growing. But then again, I don't think blueberries would grow fast like that. Could be growing on its own. I would wait for leaves before throwing it out. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And no, Melissa, I looked at all my videos and my pictures from last year. I looked at everything I had to see if I could find anything on a subject, like if I could have a picture somewhere showing me what I had back then. The only thing I didn't look is I think I might have sent a picture either to Marilyn or to Annie at some point, showing them what I had left that I didn't have time to transplant. Maybe if I look in one of those conversations, um, maybe I can find some. Are you still bringing me one elderberry? It looks like I only got two. Yeah, I promised you one. If you want some, I had 13, and out of the 13, two of them died. I Do they need to be two of them to properly grow? Because I don't want to give them all either. But I know I can probably get some more next year. So out of the 11, I will definitely keep two for me. I need to give one to my buddy, one to my colleague, and that's going to give me about six left, six, seven left that I will bring to the conference. And so yeah, I will bring some for sure, Angie. The Eastern Ontario Homesteading Conference is the same date as the Northeastern Ontario Homesteading Conference. It's too bad they weren't on different weekends. There is a Northern Ontario Homesteading Conference? I didn't even know that. Um, we only heard about the Eastern Ontario, and that's pretty much where all my friends are. Well, the ones that I know where they live, they're all in that area. So yeah, too bad it's the same weekend. But then again, I couldn't make two weekends. But if it was two different days, maybe we could have been to one and then the next day to the other one. Have hundreds of elderberries all around here. Yeah, and I'm guessing if you cut a branch and you just leave it on the ground, it's probably going to go. And usually, two different varieties bring bigger yields. Okay, that is good to know. So I need to keep at least two, and you will have at least two different varieties. So maybe next year I can find some more somewhere. I posted on my community tab the flyer for the conference. I'll go take a look. Um, it's interesting though that they're starting to do those conference more and more. We'll trade you elderberries for choicherries. Um, I have some elderberry seeds here. So in theory, uh, the only thing it says to soak seeds for 24 hours, followed by 60 days warm, moist stratification, followed by 120 days cold, moist stratification. So basically, Um, I plant them out at the beginning of July and hope that by next spring they finally grow. So I have to put them in a pot somewhere that has good drainage, but not enough to make me lose my seeds. And I have about 50 seeds in there, and it says that it's about 70 to 90% germination. I'll cut you a cutting off ours for you next year. Cool. Um, I can bring you some seeds, Angie, if you want to try that too. But I don't know if you have any space ready to plant seeds and hope that it grows. And you know what I mean? Cut them and just put in water. Here, don't have to have two different kinds for heavy yields. Well, I got cuttings and I put them in the soil, and I kept the soil very moist. There was water all the time, and the roots are coming from underneath the pot now. So I know the roots are well established. I have to I have to transplant them as soon as I can. It's gonna have to be done this weekend, especially if I want to bring some to the conference. Um, maybe Angie, maybe you're right, but I'm just saying what it says here on the package. If they need 120 days of cold and previously 60 days of warm, sorry, I'm guessing if you plant them in the fall, they will never get their 60 days of warm. So I would I'll try them. I think what I'm gonna do is put some directly in the soil at the beginning of July, so they should have their 60 days of warm stratification, July, August, and then it starts to get cooler and colder, and then it should be followed by 120 days of cold, moist stratification. So, you know, October, November, December, January, February, March, and then by the end of April, they should start sprouting. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put them in pots, some outside, and I'll try to keep some inside where I can put them in 24 hours, soak them for 24 hours, followed by 60 days warm, moist stratification. So I would put them in a towel on top of the fridge, or somewhere that it's really warm, and then put them in the freezer for 120 days, and then try planting them. Maybe that's the best thing to do. Try both different ways. We'll see. I also have the same thing with cranberries, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have it here, or is it under? I think the eyebush cranberries that we bought, the seeds, they're the same thing. See, like this one here, it said this is high bush cranberry. It said the same thing on the website. It was 120 days of cold and previously 60 days. 60 days of warm stratification followed by 120 days of cold. And these here, it says seed requires long stratification period. Plant seeds outdoors in late spring for germination the following spring. Sow seeds 24 hours before planting. Germination is from 60 to 80%. And I have 15 seeds. So these ones here is the same thing. I would have, in theory, need to plant them late spring or early summer, and hope for the best. They're high bush cranberries. It'd be nice if I could get some. And then, like the shrubs, they're usually easy to propagate. So I just need to go and, even with my ASCAPs, um, I need to propagate some. Same. Well, blueberries, I don't really need to do that because I don't think I will go with the blueberries. They need to have a very acidic soil, And since my soil is not acidic enough, it's hard to just keep them going, to keep the soil very acidic. Um, so that's why I think I'm going to go with the ASCAPs. Oh, that way I can put my feet. Sorry. Oh, now it feels better. So I'll let you guys go. I've been on for a little bit more than 2 hours. I will go watch the rest of the hockey game. It might be going to overtime, so who knows? Um, Maybe I'll be able to be here on Sunday morning just to have a little chat with you guys and catch up on what I was able to do on the weekend. I know tomorrow we have supper with the in-laws. Um, Brother-in-law and the sister-in-law are here from Alberta, so pine needles and soil around them. Yeah, I know that would work. Maybe all I would. Well, they need a lot of sun, don't they? The blueberries. I have some pine needles falling not too far from there, but I don't think they would have enough sun. But I can always maybe go at my parents to grab some pine needles. I don't know. It's one thing to have some at one time, but to have some every few months or every year could be a little bit harder. All right, have a great night, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. 16 people still in the chat. And John, if you're watching this and if you're still in the chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking. And if you go live, I will be there. But it has to be in the next 15 minutes because after that I will be in bed. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.